name of Almighty God Allah, Master Farah Muhammad, our spiritual father, who came 9,000 miles to find us here in the hills and wilderness of North America, and in loving memory of our last messenger, our spiritual mother, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, Moses, and John the Baptist of the scriptures, and in the name of their spiritual son, who we represent today, the most honorable Salas Muhammad, I greet you again in the greetings of Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
You could not have picked a better place today to be.
Yes,
It is time for unity. So today, brothers and sisters, we are in the same similar position as the founding fathers of the United States of America. But you got to make a choice. And when I say make a choice, I'm saying you got to make the right choice. And by making the right choice, you control your own destiny. If you don't make a choice, you don't control anything. You will stay, well, let me take that back. If you don't make the right choice, you stay a slave. And that choice today is coming together and building, I want to say, God's kingdom. That's really what we're building, God's kingdom. Here on earth, as it is in heaven. Let's come together and build God's kingdom here on earth. At this time, I will bring up the Vice President. Is she ready? Akila?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give her she's the Vice President of Afrodescendant Nation. Give her a hand, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Greetings to everyone. Assalamu alaikum. This means peace be unto you. I would like to read from the Constitution, our Afro-Descendant Nation Constitution, the preamble. We Afro-descendants of the Western slavery diaspora, from which a new people, a new nation has emerged, realizing the goodwill of the whole people, wishing to live under and submit to a righteous government, determined that Afro-descendants of shared intent, having ascertained and agreed upon the monumental necessity for the establishment of a codified body of law to determine the formation and general nomenclature of the central government for the Afro-Descendant Nation, vowing to uphold truth and secure the liberties of the people, and determined to strengthen the integrity and ensure the perpetuity of our nation, do hereby, in adopting the following articles, consummate this Constitution of the Afro-Descendant Nation. With that said, in our preamble, my message to you tonight is very brief. It's based on unity. The Afro-Descendant Nation, I hope no one's superstitious. The Afro-Descendant Nation is like the umbrella.
Yes, ma'am.
And we, the Lost Foundation of Islam, we are on one of these pings. Hebrew Israelites, Nation of Islam under Minister Farrakhan, and so on, the rest of all of us. We are under this one umbrella together. So let's unite, because I will always be Muslim, and you may always want to be what you are.
That's right.
But together, we can unite in the Afro-Descendant Nation. Assalamu alaikum. Next, I would like to bring up Minister Ahmed Sadiq from the West Side Mosque of Chicago. Give him a hand, please.
And I am minister slash senator. So if you hear the minister, then stop me in 10 minutes. 10 minutes right there. It is in the name of Almighty God, Allah, Master Farad Muhammad, the human being God, to whom all honor and praises will forever be due. In the name of our spiritual mother Mary of the book, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah forever be upon his holy name. In the name of our Lord and Savior, Silas Muhammad, Chief Executive Officer of the Lawson Foundation of Islam, that I greet you all once again in our nation greeting words of As-salamu alaykum. It is 2017. I went to a meeting on 2 weeks ago at the University of Chicago, and it was hosted by Cam Howard. I don't know if you all are familiar with Cam Howard. And they were giving out, they were recognizing some of the people who were involved in the reparations movement. And they recognized Minister Louis Farrakhan, Conrad Worrell, Judge Lionel Baptiste, and also recognized the president of the Afro-Descendant government, who is not here today, so I'm here in her stead, Rashida Tlaib. One of the things that stood out to me the most was the direction that we're going in as a people. They are promoting to go to Congress. And if you go to Congress for full and complete reparations, then you will fail. I'm telling you that. Okay, the state of the black community now is an imbroglio. It's a messy state of affairs. Our children are dying ignominious deaths. We're murdering one another. And all the while, as this is going on, they are planning and preparing to take the black community from you. Do you hear me?
Yes,
The regentrification process is real. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
They plan on having 2 classes, rich and poor. They're going to eliminate the middle class. So you're either going to be rich or you're going to be poor. You know which category we fit in, right?
Rich.
Yes, sir.
That's our destiny, is to be rich. So what we have devised for us as a people is, and I'm just giving you a brief synopsis of what the Governor General is going to give to you, but we have coalesced, and we have to, as a people, and we have devised a government for us to fit under. Because currently, most black leaders, and I mean most black leaders, have ossified in their beliefs. And that ossification is what's stopping us from uniting. Do you hear me? I'm not going to let go of what I have. I'm not going to let, but take for example the Jews, who are the archetype of reparations. What did they do? The Jews didn't go to Germany, inside of Germany's government, and ask them for reparations. They came together with their friends. Mind you now, Judaism is a religion. It's not a race of people. Do you hear me? They sell it to you. They say the Jewish people. And then they give you what's called an illusionary truth, which means the more I repeat something, the more you start to think it's true, but the word illusionary is in front of it, which means that it's a lie. That's an illusionary truth. You are the real chosen people of God. Notwithstanding that, they came together with Great Britain, the William Balfour Declaration. Do you hear me? They came together with the United States of America. They came together with some of your Arab brothers. And they decided what was best for the Jewish people. Put them in a position to where they would have in vivo transfers. Generation after generation after generation after generation, they'll be compensated. Don't you want the same thing?
Yes, sir.
Are we not intelligent enough to realize that, well, we can argue about the proper way to dress when we're home? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Reparations, restitution, and indemnification. Money. Do you hear me? I heard some black leaders say we don't want a check. Show me by raising your hand who in there don't want a check. So all of us do agree.
That's what I thought.
Yes, sir. That we want a check.
We want you.
Now, in addition to that, we know reparations is about repairs mostly. Social repairs, self-made repairs, repairs on ourselves, mental repairs, psychological repairs, cultural repairs, organizational repairs, institutional repairs, technological repairs of all kinds. But now how are they going to repair you here inside of a system that's designed to destroy you? These repairs have to take place with us in a land that we can call our own. Do you hear me? We have to determine for ourselves what's best for us. It's called self-determination. The United States of America, the government of the United States of America, is designed to destroy you. They've already unleashed inside of your community biological and chemical warfare. The most dangerous place for a black child is in his mother's womb. I'm telling you the truth. It'll take approximately 235 years for you to catch up with them economically if they did nothing.
That's
I mean, they just got to stop everything they're doing, and it'll take 235 years for you to catch up. You think
Not
they know?
gonna happen.
That ain't gonna happen.
But they want you to believe now that they're your brother, and that they're your sister, that they love you. They apologized for slavery, didn't they? The 3 states that apologized for slavery was Maryland, Virginia, Florida, along with the Congress. Now, a true apology, I'm going to give you this, and then I'm going to get ready and sit down and get ready to be taught a little bit more myself. But a true apology encompasses 3 R's. Never forget this. Regret. First off, I'm truly sorry for what it is that I did. A resolution. If there's damage that has been done, what can I do to fix it? And the third thing is restitution. So if and when Congress did apologize, if they were truly sincere in their apology, then it would have came with the 3 R's. Regret, resolution, and restitution. But they apologized, supposedly, with the thought in mind that you are still children. You notice what they think about you, right? If you think I'm lying, just wait till you're in the grocery store and you're inside of any type of gathering and see if they don't, you're standing here in the grocery, see if they don't reach over you. And then you almost got to say, well, you're trying to get to this particular item? I can move if you need me to move. I'm telling you what I personally experienced. They think that you are children. They believe that you are functional illiterate. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
They don't believe that you are capable of governing yourselves.
That's
Do you
right.
hear me? If they thought that you were capable of governing yourselves, then they would not tell you that they're prepared to send the National Guard into the city of Chicago.
Right.
What does that mean? Trump turned around and said, well, if you can't handle it, then I'll handle it. Didn't he say that?
That's what he said.
He said, you got children being shot by members of their own community. What's going on in Chicago when a guy uses an assault rifle in a residential community? Now that's a good question, isn't it? So, ponder over that. Think about it. Can you govern yourselves?
Yes, sir.
Can you handle your own situation?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you don't, somebody else will. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, sir. Well, I guess I have the honor of bringing forth the man who's responsible for having us all here, Minister Abdullah Tahama. Could you please give him a warm round of applause?
Majesty, Master Farad Muhammad, and on behalf of his most humble messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and on behalf of my leader and teacher, who has bored us out of civil debt, the Honorable Silas Muhammad, and on behalf of all of our leaders, with love and respect, from Prophet Drew Ali to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, to the Prince,
Yes, sir.
all of our ancestors, and all of you. Assalamu alaikum. You know, I had put together a lecture for you, but due to time, I'm gonna have to try to wing this one. But I can assure you, it'll be just as effective. This situation that we all believe about Abraham, our father Abraham, this is a situation that we need to look at in a different light. Because we've been looking at it from a religious point of view. This is a legal battle. This is a legal issue. So I'm gonna use this book that they gave us here in America called the Bible for a history reference for you and I. We're gonna talk a little bit about Abraham and how this thing took place. And we're gonna try to see what the time is and what must be done. In 15:1, it says, after this, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision.
Yes, sir.
Didn't say that the Lord came to him. It said the Lord's word came in a vision. What could that vision and what could that word have been? Well, if you do your research, the word is called the Logos. It is a principle. It is human rights.
Right.
So he was pondering over something. And it goes on and he says now, Lord, sovereign Lord. You didn't hear me. He said, sovereign Lord. So now if he's pondering on this information, and he says, sovereign Lord, then he must be pondering on law. Because that's the only way you become a sovereign. And the highest of sovereign is law. So he's saying, sovereign Lord, what can you give me? You gave me no child. Someone in my household, hear me, shall be my hire. Someone's going to receive everything I got that's not a child of mine. The Lord said, no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to give you a boy. He said, I'm going to give you a son.
Yeah, that's right.
Now look, think about this. This is a vision. It's not happening right then. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
He's having a vision. The most important part is 15 and 13. I don't need the book. I've been doing this 40 years. Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall be in bondage 400 years. After that, I shall punish that nation. I like it when it says, I shall judge that nation. And after that, you will come out with great substance. Go on the journey with me.
Yes, sir.
Know of a surety. It didn't say no for a surety. Know of a surety.
Yes.
Now, if we put on our legal glasses, what's a surety? A surety is a legal matter. It's not layman's term for sure. A surety leads into an agreement that becomes binding. Know of a surety that they shall be in a strange land, and they shall be in bondage. You didn't hear me.
Say it one more time.
See, he says know of a surety. This is how you formulate a bond. Bondage, the root word being bond, I ain't no school teacher.
Yes, sir.
age, AGE, but what was the first thing or one of the first things on the American stock market? Black folks. They were bonded. And you shall be in bondage 400 years, and you still in bondage.
That's right.
Until you do for self. Now he says, I'm going to judge this nation. Now, we all know you don't need a judge unless you practice the law. So these white folks, I don't mean no disrespect, but they white folks.
All they want to do.
I call them the devil. That's what they are. They try to construe the book so that you can't understand it. They begin with, know of a surety that thy seed shall be in a bondage. In a strange land they shall afflict them 400 years in bondage. Then they switch over to the new translation, and all of a sudden it says, know for certain. Notice the language change. Oh, black folk is starting to get smart. Know of a certain that they shall be in slavery. Oh, you moved the bondage, huh? You moved the surety, huh? Black folk waking up on you, huh? So you want to trick it up some more. That's what he's been doing. The language of law is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad called the devil's best deception.
Yeah.
He's here to deceive you for what? You got white folk over in Israel, like brother said, saying that they did the 400 years. Don't laugh. Cause it's funny. They're the one themselves up that a kingdom in order to take jurisdiction of the planet Earth.
That's right.
Yes.
Cheating you
Teach, brother.
out of your rights, your human rights. This particular judge is going to make judgment through the human rights. And then after that, they shall come out with great substance. Well, let me help you out here. Everybody talking about America. Well, in fact, the UN just said, after Silas Muhammad knocked their brains out, America must pay black folk reparations.
Right.
Well, I'm here to tell you something. This thing said great substance. When we unite as a people and come to the reality that we are that people, what about the Arab? He was the first one in the slave trade. What about the Portuguese?
Right.
What about the Germans? What about the Spanish? Let's just go on throughout history and say, what about?
Yes, sir.
See how that game just changed?
Yes.
If America don't get right, we still got others.
Right.
Now, the Arabs are our brothers. They should just come to the table and say, Shalom Alaikum. How can we fix this? Because we should be saying, if you don't fix it, we're going to slap all the water out your mouth. Legally. You got two ways to do this. You can do a plea bargain, or you can do a trial. Now here in America, they tell you if you take the trial, we're going to use the full extent of the law if you get guilty,
Yes,
get
sir.
found guilty. If you take this plea bargain, we'll go light on it. Works the same way. We have the power. That particular God, when you go to court, is called the law of nature. You can't go in court and use the word God.
That's right.
Can't do it. They say if you got insurance, boulders fall out the sky and hit your car, they say it was an act of nature.
Right.
We say it was an act of God. So if you don't have the right glasses on, you can't see the time. And if you can't see the time, you can't know what must be done. Because the solution is always in the problem. You can't identify the problem unless you know what time it is. If you don't know that you are Abraham's seed, You don't know what time it is.
That's
Right.
Yes.
Real simple. Why do you think they're coming at us the way they're coming at us? Because they want to keep you asleep. They want to keep you disorganized.
Yes.
They cannot afford for you to unite. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said the unity of black people is more powerful than an atomic bomb.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
This is about as truthful as you can be. When you and I unite, this is a no-brainer. The Afro-Descendant Nation was created by the Nation of Islam under the leadership of the Honorable Silas Muhammad. The United Nations accepted the Afro-Descendant Nation as a people. Now you got to understand what that is. We've never been a people.
Right.
We've been persons.
Yes.
In America, persons is a fictitious entity. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Silas Muhammad went to the UN, the Honorable Silas Muhammad. He asked them, why won't you help our people? They looked him in the face and told him, because you don't exist. He said he went home and started crying. But he got so upset, he said, I got to figure this out. So he figured it out.
Right.
He figured it out to the point that he kept going back till they submitted and said, okay, we will recognize you as a people under the title Afro-Descendant Nation. That's where you are now. That's where your power is. Are you understanding me?
Yes, sir.
We got the prince here, we got the doctor here, we got the national director here, we got the prince here. We got more signs. Let me stop, man. Do you see the power in here? This was not organized to fill up the room. It was organized to bring the right people
Yes, sir.
here so that you can see the dynamic power of the black man, woman, and child.
That's right.
That's where we are now. It is time to break the yoke of any human being that is participating in the slavery of the black man, woman, and child. That's what we. This can be done by you and I.
Right.
My beloved big brother, the prince. They went to Israel and broke this cracker's back.
Right. That's right. That's right.
50 years later, they still there. But they say you never even make it over there. 50 years later, he's still there. This is in the control of you and I.
Yes.
This is not in the control of the white man.
No, sir.
What I care about Donald Trump. Oh, Donald Trump.
DT.
I don't care nothing about that crap. Donald Trump taking care of Donald Trump business.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Black folk need to take care of black folk business.
Right.
Absolutely.
Black folk need to become a family.
Yes.
That's right.
Once we do that, there are 250 million of us that have been recognized as a people. Here in America, North America, South America, and throughout the diasporas, we come under the umbrella of the Afro-Descendant Nation.
Right.
Do you know how much fear that is for white folk, Arabs, Jews, and whatever else they call themselves? 250 million of us. Now this book here says that Abraham's seed would be a donkey of a man. Say that his hand would be against the world and the world's hand would be against his.
That's right.
Now the Jews say that he did the 400 years. Now the president of Egypt said the Jews would never live in peace in the Middle East because we find it strange that you left black and came back white. You didn't hear me. We have no history of holding any human being in slavery.
Go ahead.
This is what the president saying.
Sure did.
So if you and I stand up and say, look, Mr. President, we be them people. He's going to say, oh, my beloved, the answer to my problem. I told you y'all was a fake, phony, and a hypocrite. Here they are right here, the real deal. At that point, you can begin to establish your own government.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get ready to close it. I'm going to put it to you like this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the black man, woman, and child here in America is Abraham's seed. He is a direct descendant
Yes.
of God.
Yes.
You didn't hear me. A direct descendant of God. That means that no children. One. Some man had testicles. Some woman had a womb. Real simple. The book said that the sons of God took the women of men
Yes, they did.
and married. A spirit did that.
I know spook.
A spoke. Go home and your wife tell you same thing they tried to tell Joseph. Spirit impregnated me, baby.
Make a point. Make a point.
Y'all might as well call the police. Gonna be a problem. Real problem. Not gonna happen. You did what? You think I'm stupid? And they wrote this in a book, and we ate it hook, line, and sinker.
Yes, we did.
Come on now. We can't go for this no more. The only thing left is to unify.
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's why you're here today. Donald Trump keeps saying we got to do something about Chicago. And for one reason,
Think over that.
he want to do something in Chicago.
That's right.
He wants to bring martial law, but why? Because this is the incubator
Right.
of
Think
the
over that.
revolution.
That's right.
Think of the power that's here
Here in Chicago.
in Chicago.
That's right.
The organizations, the minds that are here
That's right.
fighting for the cause of the black man, woman, and child.
That's right.
It's got to be stopped. But Mr. Trump, cracker, let me tell you something. We wrote this book.
Right.
50,000 years ago, we began to write this book to tell you about our future
Right.
and to show you and prove to you there's no God but the human being man
Right.
slash woman. You didn't hear me.
That's powerful.
Say it one more time.
See, no God but the human being man and woman. 400 years we still here.
Yes, sir.
Didn't no spook spirit or no mystery show up.
That's right.
We still here.
Make a plan.
That's right.
Where that God at? I'm looking at it. I ain't talking about the universal creator. That's a whole nother subject.
Right.
Yes, sir.
We talking about God. That's a title for human beings.
Yeah.
You ain't hear me.
Right.
What you scared of? Oh, lightning gonna hit the building. Well, run on up out of here then. We tricked it up before we even started walking it out. He tried to trick up a trick. You was already tricked, cracker.
Yes, sir.
That's how we wrote it.
Right.
You thought when we made him that we didn't know what he was going to try to do?
Right.
Man, y'all ain't hear me.
Hey, Cliff.
This man ain't no threat. I'm a student of the Honorable Silas Muhammad, ex-con and everything else. White man, you can't handle me. How you gonna handle Silas Muhammad? How you gonna handle Minister Farrakhan? This is your worst nightmare.
Yes.
The time and what must be done. What must be done is unity.
That's right.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. I
bear witness there is but one God,
Yes, sir.
the God of Abraham,
Yes, sir.
the God of Moses,
Yes, sir.
the God of Jesus,
Yes, sir.
the God of Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
Peace be upon all of these great servants of God. I thank you, Minister Hummer, for giving me the opportunity to come before these great people that are here in our midst.
It's because we love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
We are the greatest people on earth. God has given us a nation. And it's just a matter of us getting together, coming together, and claiming what is rightfully ours. He's given us the most beautiful nation of people ever to exist on the earth. It's hard to believe, it's hard to conceive, but it's a fact.
All praise
Everything
be to
that
the
Minister Tahama has said, I'm sure that if we've heard Prince Asiel
Lord. Go ahead.
go ahead,
Yes, sir.
you know, it's just a blessing to be in the midst of these great men. Minister Farrakhan,
Yes, sir.
the Honorable Silas Muhammad, our future Prince Asiel's son.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All praise due to the Lord.
You know, the youth that are here, you know, we're just trying to hold this thing up for you all to come and take it to the next level.
Yes, sir.
I just pray that God gives me an opportunity to see the glimpse of the heaven that God has promised us.
All praise due to the Lord.
And he keeps his promise.
Yes, sir.
Know for a surety. Know for a surety.
Yes, sir. All praise due to the Lord.
Our people who've been in bondage for 400 years will come out of this with great substance.
Hmm.
I just thank Allah for blessing me to be here in this day and time when God is going to bring down this open enemy of ours.
Hello.
Pretty soon he'll be like a string on your finger. You won't even know he exists. He'll tell you himself that his time is up.
Hello. That's right.
Biologically, he'll tell you that I'm not producing anymore.
Right.
True.
We're on the decline. Our children are not gonna be here for maybe another 100 years. And we'll be gone. That's what he had, that's what's coming out of his mouth. And he's trying to take us down with him.
Yes, sir.
You know, he don't wanna go out this here thing with us being given what is rightfully ours.
Right. Yes, sir.
It's not in his nature.
That's right.
He was born. He was made
That's right.
to kill,
Right.
to destroy, to enslave, to divide and conquer. He was made to do that. He was given that from our Father.
That's
God
right. From our
gave
Father.
him that opportunity
Right.
to enslave us. Why? To show forth his power. That I could make a man and give him 6,000 years to rule and come and destroy him in a twinkling of an eye.
Right.
To show forth his power that I am God, and besides me there is no God. And all we have to do is come to realize that now's our time. This enemy's time is up. There's nothing to fear.
Right.
The only thing that is keeping us from our inheritance this demonstration today, by the grace of Allah, by the grace of God, is a demonstration that God can and will bring us all together
All praise to
Yes, sir.
to take what is rightfully ours.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I said that.
Wow.
First and foremost, giving all honor and praise to the Creator of the heavens and the earth.
Yes, sir.
We thank Him for our ancestors, in whatever form or fashion they may be found.
Yes, sir.
We thank Him for our father, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We thank Him for Moses and the Torah, Yeshua or Jesus for the New Gospel, and Prophet Muhammad Ibn Abdullah for the Holy Quran. But surely, if I can thank those men that I know only from Scripture, only from study, only from reading, I must thank and give credence to those who came in our midst and taught us. So most certainly I must thank the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the last and greatest messenger.
Yes,
I want to thank our spiritual leader and guide, Ben Ami Hamashiach. I would like to thank Nasi Shalia, one of our great master teachers,
Yes, sir.
who taught us know thyself through his writings.
Yes, sir.
And if those two had a spiritual son, it will most certainly be Prince Isaiah Ben Israel,
Yes,
Yes,
my
sir.
father and our ambassador, who took their message all across the world.
Right.
And most importantly, all of you who are here to receive that message, who the foundation of those great men stand on. I greet you in the words of peace. Shalom, shalom. Assalamu alaikum. I want to thank the Honorable Silas Muhammad for opening his home to us,
Yes, sir.
Praise be to God.
giving us Minister Hum, who is that strength, that rock in Chicago, that keeping his word go alive.
Right. Yes, sir.
I want to thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan,
Yes, sir.
who served us for 62 wonderful years. 40 years on his own without his teacher and God,
Right.
and still going strong.
Yes, sir.
But today is the time and what must be done.
Yes, sir.
It's not, see, this is so important and imperative that we have this message now. Because like Brother Thomas said, the crack is at this point where he knows his time is up.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So we must be in a position where we have to know what we must do and how we're going to continue.
That's right.
See, we're great at Act 1,
Hello.
but our problem is Act 2 and 3. Don't let it be a conclusion. We know where to be found. So it means we got to have a strategy.
Yes, sir.
We have to be strategic going forward.
Come on, bro.
So I want to pose a question to everyone. And that question is, what's the difference between a dignified slave and a foolish one?
A slave.
One is just dignified, and one is foolish.
He's a slave.
But you can tell our mentality has gotten to the point where dignified means something,
Right.
even if it's still in front of slave.
Yes, sir.
So, before I go any further, I'll be remiss in my duties. I want to just give you the definition of dignified, and just so how far we are lost from self that we accept these false titles. So just bear with me 1 second. I want to just read it for you real quick.
Yes, sir.
Dignified, to make seem worthy and impressive.
Sing.
To make something seem
Yes,
worthy, not to actually be worthy,
Come on, bro.
not to actually have value, not to actually do something and be productive, but just to have the image of worthiness.
All praise be to God.
Hear me out. There's more.
Yes, sir.
And give an impression, name to someone or something that one has considered worthless.
An impression.
An impression, dignity, to be dignified, to be a lawyer, but to still be a slave. To be a doctor, to be educated in the system, but to still be a slave.
Hello.
Why am I saying that? Not to be disrespectful, but to say if you're still teaching the same oppressive lies and deception that this devil has given
Hello.
us, you're still a slave.
Yes, sir.
You're still a slave. So I want to go to what this impression that this society can give us to be judges and doctors. Hell, you can be a woman if you're a man.
Hello.
You can be a man if you're a woman. So, you're right, you can be whatever you want in this society.
All you can be.
The only stipulation, the only catch-22 is you just can't be free.
Right.
Come on, let me say that again.
Yeah, come on
You
with it.
can be a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
You can be a doctor. You can be President Barack Obama. But you cannot be free.
Hello.
You cannot do nothing to help initiate the salvation of your people. Because that goes in total opposite and opposition to the enemy's plan.
Come on with it, bro.
That's the catch-22. So long as you keep your slave mind, as long as you keep perpetuating that slave mentality, you get your kudos. You get your position. You get some movement, but not freedom.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to say that again.
Come on, bro.
Because nobody missed that. Everybody for a
No,
second.
I think you got it.
I'm going to say that one more time.
Again, it sounds so good.
If you still perpetuate that mentality, if you still let the people know, well, we're getting better, we're making strides. You're making strides.
Yeah,
The food is killing us. The police are killing us.
Hello.
The water is killing us. The air is killing us. We've gotten to the point that we've been so disillusioned and have so much self-hate, we're killing each other.
Hello.
But we're making progression.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Where?
Into death.
Into death.
Right.
So, but if you can promote that message, they'll give you a little movement. Give you a little house, give you a car, give you a title,
Hello.
give you a position that really has no respect nationally, because to the world of European nations, you're still a nigga.
Hello.
As the Honorable Silas Muhammad said, he said, you don't exist.
Don't exist.
Hello.
Don't exist.
What about that part?
After we had King, after we had Malcolm X, after we had all these great men, we still don't exist.
Make that
Hello.
play.
You only like Muhammad Ali after he deviated a little bit from his teacher?
Hello.
You hear me?
Now I
When he
see.
couldn't talk, that's when you love him the most.
Right.
Huh.
Otherwise, you don't want nothing to do with him.
Right. Teach.
This is what we're up against. This is why the time and what must be done is so imperative to our growth and our development.
Yes.
For our youth, but for our elders.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Because they have been led astray. And because they have been led astray,
right.
they continue to lead the children astray.
Right.
That's right.
You gotta go to school and get your college degree. And then what?
Right. Teach, bro.
You hear me? And then what? I'm all about education. I come from Prince Hill. I gotta read every day.
Right.
All day long.
Yes, sir.
But it's the right education.
That's right.
And then if you have the right education, you gotta plug it into something that benefits self.
Hello.
Not no more are we giving our energy, our intellect, our time, our imagination, our creativity to this European devil.
That's
Not no more.
That's right.
This is the time and what must be done.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna wrap up because I gotta bring on the big man.
Yes,
But I just
sir.
want to get there. 1966, April 8th, Time magazine came out with an article. Is God dead?
Hello.
Right.
Oh, mercy.
I remember that.
And so outwardly, it seemed as if he was being blasphemous.
Right.
It seemed as if he was provoking or some type of conversation just to get the people riled up.
No, sir.
But it was codified.
Yes, sir.
White supremacists are pragmatic in everything they do.
Tell 'em,
They
bro.
playing chess.
Yes, sir.
It's strategic. So what they were saying, because the Sixers, we know we gave a crack of hell
Right.
everywhere we
Hello.
went.
That's right.
The Nation of Islam was at the strongest under the most honorable
Hello.
Elijah Muhammad. People was rising up. We
That's
were
right.
unified. We were getting some direction.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Right on. That's right.
Not just in America, but throughout the world.
Yes, sir.
The Patrice Lumumbas over there in Kenya. I mean, we were waking up.
Right.
We were getting nations again. So they had to say, I think our God is
Hello.
dead.
Hello.
Meaning our control over the black masses of the world are decimated.
Hello. Come on, bro.
We're losing them. Our God is dying. Because we got to come out of the misconception that we serve the same God.
Yes, sir.
When we open up in prayer, they say, giving all praise to Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful.
Hello.
Their God has never been beneficent, has never been merciful. How do we know that? Because they haven't practiced those attributes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
They live on death and devastation, murder and mayhem. That is nothing we want to be connected to.
Come on, bro.
I'm going to wrap up,
God
but
bless
I
you,
got
brother.
to take us there.
Come on now. God bless you.
So their God is dying. So their control is dying in the hearts of our men
Hello.
and our women. So what they have to do?
Hmm.
A massive attack on all fronts.
Yes.
Right.
All
Killed Medgar Evers,
Right.
killed Malcolm X, killed Martin Luther King, killed Fred Hampton Jr.
That's
Right.
right.
Destroyed and took the son of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad from his father and took him in another direction to teach us. All these
Yes,
things
sir.
are happening
Right.
now.
Yes, sir.
But by the grace of Allah, by the grace of y'all, we got that spirit that was still in amongst the
Hello.
people. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan had that spirit in him, so he kept that teachings going. The Honorable Silas Muhammad had that spirit, so he kept those teachings going.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
We in Israel, like you said,
Yes,
out, out from everybody in America, but we still working, fighting
That's
that crap
right.
and that devil over there,
That's right.
putting that work in.
That's right.
While they still thinking they're being triumphant, because
Yes, sir.
that's when mass incarceration hit. That's when the drug epidemic hit.
Hello.
This is when the miseducation hit. This when assimilation to white society hit. So it gives you the illusion of inclusion. One of the greatest weapons they used against us in the last 20, 30 years.
Yes, sir.
To feel that we've been successful because we've integrated into their system.
Yes, sir.
Like earlier said, the system that was created for our death and our devastation.
Yes, sir.
That sounds suicidal to me.
That's right.
But we lost our God in that midst. But I'm here to say,
Come on, brother.
I'm here to tell us that there's no need to fear no more.
Come on, brother.
Because now, under the teachings of the Most Honorable Sayyid Muhammad, under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, under the teachings of Prince Isaiah, our God lives now